Have you ever wondered why the tortoise's shell is cracked? Tonight, you'll learn the truth. Long ago, when animals and birds still spoke the same language, there lived a very clever tortoise. The tortoise loved food more than anything else. If there was a feast anywhere, he would find a way to be there. One day, the tortoise heard exciting news. The birds were preparing for a grand feast in the sky. The clouds themselves would be the tables, and the food would be greater than anything ever seen on Earth. But there was one problem. The feast was only for birds, and the tortoise could not fly. The tortoise thought long and hard. Then suddenly his eyes sparkled with an idea. He walked to the birds and spoke politely. "My dear friends," he said, "I have always admired the beauty of your wings. Would you allow me to join you at the feast?" The birds looked at one another. The tortoise had always been clever, so each bird agreed to lend him one feather. Soon the tortoise had gathered enough feathers to build 2 beautiful wings. And for the first time in his life, the tortoise rose into the sky. Up, up, up! They flew together until they reached the great feast among the clouds. The tables were filled with delicious food, fruits sweeter than honey, stews richer than gold, and roasted grains that filled the air with an irresistible smell. The birds were ready to eat, but the tortoise raised his hand. "My friends," he said, "in my culture, it is rude to eat without first introducing ourselves." The birds agreed. One by one, they announced their names. "I am Eagle. I am Parrot. I am Dove." When it was the tortoise's turn, he smiled proudly. "My name," he said, "is all of you?" The birds looked confused, but they did not question it. Then the host of the feast stepped forward. He welcomed everyone warmly. Then he said, "This wonderful feast has been prepared for all of you." Before the birds could react, the tortoise rushed to the table. He began eating everything. The fruits, the grains, the stew. He ate and ate and ate until almost nothing remained. The birds watched in shock. "You tricked us!" they cried. "Yes," the tortoise said with a full mouth. "You said the food was for all of you, and that is my name." The birds were furious. Without another word, they each took back the feathers they had lent him. Suddenly, the tortoise had no wings, and he was still high in the sky. Below him was the earth. Far, far, far below, the tortoise shouted desperately to the birds flying down. "Please tell my wife to bring out all the soft things in the house so I can land safely." But the birds were still angry. When they reached the tortoise's home, they gave his wife a different message. They told her, "Your husband says to bring out all the hard things in the house." His wife placed stones, pots, and wooden tools all over the ground. Meanwhile, the tortoise fell from the sky. Faster and faster and faster until crash. His shell shattered into many pieces. The village healers worked all night to glue the shell back together. But from that day on, the tortoise's shell was never smooth again. And that is why, even today, the tortoise carries the marks of his greed upon his back. If you enjoy stories like this, don't forget to like, share, and follow Myths and MoonLite Tales for more ancient folktales under the moon. But the tortoise learned something from that fall. Next time, the tortoise's broken shell helps him trick an entire village.